Good morning, viewers and my dear teachers. It's a pleasant morning for you, and now we are facing a different kind of situation at school, and we have faced another kind of situation of the school. Now, when we ventured into the school, again the situation is not as we thought of. There is a lot of social and emotional ambience is not yet suitable for our academic program and business. So, my dear friends, and Department of School Education in association with SCERT Hyderabad has designed a series of programs and focusing on each subject. This is the fifth day in this series, and today we are going to discuss some alternative and supportive activities that should be taken place in our daily academic business in our schools. My dear friends, I know that here in the post-second wave scenario also, still we are in the grip of this COVID, and of course we may come out of this grim situation, and still we are in the grip, and the society, the administration and other forces are there to control the things on our hand, and at the same time how we are dealing with children, how we are accommodating them, because they're also totally off from the school last 1.5 years, and I hope still they haven't been tuned to the situation of academic business on the campus of schools, even in the classroom. So here to support, to give some sort of a kickstart and to go with serious academic business, because we have a lot of cultural shocks that children haven't been tuned with this classroom environment, as I was telling. So what are the other measures to be taken? And this is one sort of program that we here present to you to take by you to go forward in the remaining, because we have less time, we have the other, the time is not sufficient to go a regular program. For that reason, there is some sort of, the working days, reduction of working days and the instructional days, and some syllabus also is deleted. And at the same time, along with this regular academic program, the supportive activities, each class 6 to 10, and today up to 1 o'clock, and we have 3 sessions, and on the panel 3 panels are there, and each session 1 hour we are going to discuss. Please free and open up your mind. Please try to note down the things which are going to be useful to you. Please very attentively listen to this program. And once again, I welcome to this program. I now am going to introduce the 3 teachers on the panel. First, to my left, Lata Madhavi, and who is from SCERT, and to her left, Venkat Ramanamagaru, and she is from Rangareddy district, and she is a very good practicing teacher. And of course Vimala Devi, she is also from Rangareddy district, and she is also at the school and the field, and she has been practicing the beautiful way in the classroom situations. And with this introductory remarks, I wanted to ask Lata to take over the session, and I think she is going to talk here all the scheme of the rest of the days, how we have to do, and what is our schedule to be followed. Thank you very much, and over to you, Lata.
Thank you, Mangareddy sir, and once again a very good morning to all the other teachers who are sitting and viewing this program. And as Mangareddy sir was telling, it's very true that there is a lot of things happening around us, and we are off the school, and now we have come to school, and this is really a shock to each and every person. And at the same time, there is lot of learning loss that has taken place, and there is so much of gap between the teacher and the student, and the total routine of the child, like the student's routine has been disturbed. Now they have got used to that free type of sitting at home. Sometimes the online classes, they are just giving few minutes where they can look into the online class, but it is not a mandatory that they have to sit and listen to each and everything. So that type of free system of learning has been habituated for almost all the students. But at the same time, when we look into the schools, like after the schools have reopened, we can see there is good attendance on behalf of COVID also, though the parents are insisting them not to go to school. There is almost 50% of the children coming to school who are very enthusiastic, and they are eagerly waiting for the teacher to transact something or to teach something, and they are very ready to accept and learn new things. So this learning enthusiasm or this urge to learn something should definitely be addressed by the teacher, and the teacher should take such a care that this enthusiastic is not reduced actually or decreased. So teacher should make certain efforts, though it is very difficult for the teacher, as we all know that the teaching days were 220 earlier, but this year almost we have completed 1/4 of the year, and it is only the teaching days are coming almost for the classes 6th to 9th, it is coming only up to 127 days, which is almost 100 days we have lost. And the teacher also is having a very tough challenge that she has to complete her syllabus, and at the same time see that all the children are good enough to perform their academics properly. In this regard, so just let us have a look at the number of days what we have and how we have to work with the children, and what strategies if the teacher follows that will help the child and the teacher to complete the syllabus, and help the child to learn and understand whatever they are learning. So when we come to the point of number of days we have to transact, that is the academic period what we have for learning or teaching, it is almost 127 days. Here it is given month wise. When we look at the slide, here it is given month wise, each month what is how many working days are coming, and altogether the total is 127. And when we again look at this 127, there are again few celebrations and at the same time exams. All these things if we remove, like if we discount certain number of days, maybe we will be getting around 115 days, or at the most, if the teacher is very enthusiastic and very hardworking, maybe we can also say that the teacher can do with 127 days. So coming to this, so how the teacher has to work with this 120 days, and what would be the plan, and how she has to take forward to the children should also be looked into. First thing I would like to say here is, keeping in point of this less number of days, the reduction of the certain syllabus is exempted. So when we look at the next one, you can see certain syllabus from each class. Few units have been exempted for the exams, but it is just an exemption. If the teacher is having time and if the teacher is very interested to teach those units, she can go ahead, she or he can go ahead. There is no hard and fast rule that you should not take that units. If you want, you can deal with those units also, but only thing is, see that when the question papers are prepared or when the assessment is taken, these units are exempted. So when if we look at those things class wise, for class 6 we have the unit 6 and 8 is exempted, and for class 7th you can see that unit 7 and 8 is exempted, and for class 8 we can see that 3rd and 4th unit is exempted. And if you look at the class 9th, we have exempted 4th and 5th units. So these lessons also we have taken such a care that which is little bit time taking process to transact, those lessons only we have exempted, and where the child will be less receptive, that sort of units only have been exempted. But I once again repeat that the teacher, if he or she is interested, they can go ahead dealing with these units also. These units are only exempted for the exam. Oh, and coming to the point of next thing is how the teacher can plan meticulously to complete the syllabus and help the child learn the syllabus. So when we look at this, we can see that each unit may get up to 15 to 19 days of transaction periods. Earlier we were having for English 30 days per unit, but here it is cut down almost to half. So 15 to 19 days. So the teacher should take care in such a way that the 15 days are used for transaction. The exercises, earlier we were doing certain exercise practice or certain discourse writings and all also in the class. So these things can be given as a homework for the child to complete at home. So in this way she can cut down the time where she can use for transaction more periods. And one more thing I would like to remind the teachers is give more periods in the initial units, so that the child will be able to understand it properly, as their mindset has been totally disturbed. Like they are used to many other gadgets and many other playthings and all. So now you have to attract them to the school, and you have to sustain them in the school and help them to learn better. So how better the teacher can transact, you can plan yourself, and my friends also will tell you what are the different activities you can take up in the class where they can just help the child to learn easily. So when we come to the next point in the slide, that is we can see that more practice on reading and comprehension. As for English language, the important thing, a very important thing is read and comprehend. So more emphasis should be given on reading and comprehension, where the child can read on his own. Maybe in the initial stages the teacher can transact few units. The exempted units can be we can ask the child to just read on his own if there is time. So emphasis should be given on reading comprehension. And the next one is unit related vocabulary. So your activities, like I was telling, they'll be helping you out with different activities. How the activities will help the child to get the key vocabulary, what is there in the units can be taken care of. So teacher also, these activities what we are giving need not be a mandatory. If the teacher can do better activities and get the key vocabulary from the lesson or from the units what she is dealing, she can go ahead, or they can do on their own. And the next one is creative writing. As in English we have more marks, like almost like 3/4 marks we have for creative writing, and which is easy. Like there are not many questions, there are only 2 questions where the child should answer, but the marks are more. So if the teacher takes care in helping the child learn the creative writing in a better way, so that would be a good score for the child to get good marks in language. And last but not the least, I once again wanted to tell you all, units that are exempted where they have certain discourses, the discourses will not be exempted, because we are learning these discourses almost from class 3 and we are practicing it every year. So these discourses will not be exempted, but the units will be exempted for the exams.
It's a good Madhavi. Now we know discourses if exempted, because they are all totally spiral, So it doesn't mean that the discourses are not to be exempted. Maybe some units are exempted. Another one thing is, you have spoken that some homework can be given to the children, and when the teacher can assess that homework, how far it has been done. This is also very important. Maybe teachers have this apprehension in their mind. Can you just clear it up, please?
Yes, So assessment can be done through correction, sir. Actually, earlier in our pedagogy process, we used to do the editing process in the class itself,
Yeah.
which is almost, it used to take 1 or 2 days to complete each editing process. Whereas now, as we have very less time, the homework books can be corrected in the senses, the feedback remarks can be written by the teacher on the homeworks what the children are doing. And maybe it is not, the very important issues can be addressed in the class, like more number of children are making a common mistake, that can be addressed in the class. Not all the things need not be addressed in the class time. So this way the teacher can help the children to the teacher can also do the assessment at the same time, because for assessment also we used to take certain period or certain time to assess the child, where now as we don't have so much of time, the assessment can be done by the teacher when she is correcting the books or correcting the home assignments.
So good. Is there anything to say?
Yeah, we'll go to the next one. That is syllabus to be covered for FA1. Yeah, by which time we have to complete our syllabus. Like almost like by October 5th, if we can complete the syllabus, then we can do our FA1. FA1 will be after October 5th. I mean, anyway, we have Dasara holidays. By the time the Dasara holidays are over, are coming, if we can finish the syllabus and take the first assessment FA1, because as we know that situation is very uncertain. Today we are opening the schools, but don't know what is the next thing. Like we can't assume like earlier and predict that the schools will be open forever. So if something happens also, the FA1 can be taken as one benchmark of assessment. And SA1, we have this time only 2 FAs and 2 essays, whereas earlier we used to have 4 FAs and 3 essays, but this time that also is been reduced. So next is SA1 will be from 1st of December till 8th of December. By the time if we can complete the first 4 units, that means almost 3/4 of the portion, then we will have time for the revision and everything also. That also we were thinking of. And FA2 can be done by 31st of January. And all these FAs, like whatever these FAs what we are conducting, the number of FAs have been reduced, but the tools for FAs are not reduced. The 4 tools will definitely be there. So the project work also is there, the review, story review or book review also is there, and slip test is there, and also home assignments, writing the things also are there. So this is what we have, sir.
Yeah, so very good. Thank you very much, Lata. And as you are talking about, there is some thing that the children haven't been tuned to this academic business, and to keeping this in the view, and thus instruction days and the reduction of syllabus and the units that are exempted, you have talked about very clearly. I hope teachers must have understood the scheme, that what we need to take it up. As she was telling one important point, and what eventuality and what will happen in the future we don't know, but as far as instructions are concerned, we need to move forward in the keeping of all the academic business at our back of the mind. Now, in fact, now what we need to see is, what is an alternative? Is there any alternative supportive system that we are going to have suggest from this panel or from the SCERT academic group? I hope, as I already introduced, Venkat Ramnama Garu, and again the Vimala Devi, and both are here to discuss something, and it is class 6 and 7. Now we are going to have some supportive mechanism, how best we can take up this academic business in the rest of the days. So now I request Venkat Ramnama to talk something about the supportive activities that are to be take place in the classroom business in terms of class 6.
Okay, so thank you very much, sir, and very, very good morning to you all. Dear teachers, I have been really waiting for this moment to talk about this transition phase, especially because we are talking about class 6 now, and class 6 children, they came from primary school, directly from primary school without going to class 5. That means they had this gap. So a student from class 1 went to class 3, he is in primary school, but the student who came from primary school to high school, that transition is totally different. That kind of phase, the kind of anxiety or whatever it is, that's totally different. And how are we going to address this particular situation? Sir, I think that I will use some slides and use the classroom material also to show it. Instead of simply saying something, I thought that I'll come up with some activities, some of the activities which we have tried in the classroom already. These 2 weeks we have instructional periods, right, sir?
Yes.
So we made use of those periods to come up with some activities and also try them out in the classroom and see if these activities are feasible or not. And as Lata and Mangareddy sir said already, all these are only suggested activities and they are not like hard and fast rule that you need to stick to them. Okay, sir?
Yeah.
And thank you very much. And let me handle this. Let me go to the slide there. Yeah. Okay. So here Lata was speaking. Lata was speaking about strengthening the use of textbook, and here transacting the units as per the prescribed syllabus. So this point is covered by Lata. I think I did not add many things about that. However, adding a few activities to address the learning gaps. And we have identified many learning gaps. Maybe there are more learning gaps in some schools and there might be very less gap in some schools. But how are we going to address those learning gaps? Is there a particular mechanism, or these only supportive activities? One thing everybody should remember, that we have a very beautiful process, discourse oriented pedagogy. We are not going to deviate from that pedagogy at all, because our pedagogy has everything inbuilt in it. All the low proficient learners can be addressed using the pedagogy. But even though we have that thing in our pedagogy, one thing, now we are now anxious. The teachers and the children, all of them are now enthusiastic enough to try something new. Children are like beaming with happiness to come back to school. So what kind of activities additionally we can give along with the process? So that's what we are going to concentrate now. So I want to show you the slides. Yeah. So before face sheet transaction, normally we used to start our class with a face sheet transaction. But I already told you that there is a chance to add something before the face sheet transaction. So what is that chance? Let's see. A song or a rhyme. Already we have discussed that the children came from class 4 to class 6. And they were like enjoying lots of songs, rhymes, storytelling activities, lot of physical activities, and also language games in their classrooms. And if it is different in the high school, suddenly that might seem a bit different for them. So we can start our classes with a song, a rhyme, or let's see the next activity. Listen to clues and guess. Or else they can also listen to some instructions and draw along with the teacher. So these are some of the suggested activities for supporting the material, not that they are exclusively, only these will be enough for the classroom transaction process. It's not like that. These are only the suggested processes. So now let's move on to the next slide. Yeah. And here let's talk about peace and harmony, our first lesson in class 6. We said that we'll start the lesson with a rhyme. Why a rhyme particularly? Because children in primary schools, they were like most of the time singing a lot of songs, rhymes, and enjoying. And also these rhymes were mainly action rhymes, or they are choreography rhymes. So there was a lot of activity moving around in the classroom, in the playground, and everywhere. So I think we can give that scope to our class 6 children also. That's why let's start our class with a rhyme. So our learning outcome is listen to the song and respond. And what is the prerequisite for this? Just the attention of the child. That's important anyway. So
yeah, this is a wonderful idea, Venkatramana, because children are entering into the class 6, and we need to have a lot of incidental English exposure to them to tune this language. And I hope, and this is a wonderful thing, my dear teachers, and you need to go have an extra effort to make the children to take into your process of academic process, so that it's a wonderful thing. I hope this suggestion would take it up by you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank
you very much, sir.
Yeah.
And so we can begin the class with a song or a narrative, but here I am suggesting a song for class 6 children, because maybe there will be songs, rhymes, they will tune the child instantly and they will be attracted. So when we are talking about low proficient children, I think the songs and rhymes, they will do the magic, so that they will be in the classroom, they will be connected with the teacher instantly. And let's see, look here, there is one example from our class 10 textbook. I have taken this example where we have a lesson which is connected to a poem. When the class 10 children have this, they have this opportunity to begin a lesson with a poem. Why not our class 6 children begin a lesson with a poem or a song or a rhyme? I brought a rhyme for you. Let's watch this rhyme. Are you ready?
In the jungle. Walking in the jungle, walking in the jungle, we're not afraid, we're not afraid. Walking in the jungle, walking in the jungle, we're not afraid, we're not afraid. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps forward, 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps back. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps forward, 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps back. Stop. Listen. What's that? It's a frog. We're not afraid. Let's stomp. Stomping in the jungle, stomping in the jungle. We're not afraid, we're not afraid. Stomping in the jungle, stomping in the jungle. We're not afraid, we're not afraid. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps forward. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps back. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps forward. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps back. Stop. Listen. What's that? It's a monkey. We're not afraid.
How was the rhyme? I hope you have enjoyed. And when we adults enjoy rhymes and songs so much, and we can be very sure that our children are going to enjoy these rhymes. This rhyme is now like 2 minutes now, sir, but actually the rhyme is like 10 minutes rhyme, adding a lot of animals, the cries of animals, creating the ambience of the forest that we need for peace and harmony.
So the rhyme should be related to this
theme
content that we are going to take up. Now the teacher has a freedom to do a lot of such rhymes can be taken, because she has been exposed to all this and through the internet, lot of rhymes. She has freedom to go with this any rhyme. But what are the pedagogical implications? What is the limitation of this? Only the connecting, other sort of any language part of thing there?
What I thought is that simply playing a song or a rhyme in the classroom, or teacher enacting a rhyme or action song in the classroom is not enough. It should be connected to some activities. So I've taken some concept mapping activities.
Good.
Okay. So let's look at the slide. This particular rhyme has a lot of scope for coming up with lot of concept mapping activities and mind mapping activities. For example, I have taken actions here which are there in the rhyme, and also certain actions which the children added later, though they are not in the song. So the scope is there to come up with concept maps of animals and birds, all the animals and birds in the jungle ambience, actions, cries of animals. A lot of things are there which can connect the child immediately to the face sheet transaction. That's why I have chosen this rhymes particularly.
So, wonderful.
Yes. Okay.
So now, when the concept map is done, you need to write all the words that are elicited from the children on the board. No?
Yes.
So very clearly.
Yeah. Very clearly, I'll write. We'll write every word on the blackboard or whatever chart we have. And one more thing, when the child says the answer in Telugu, we need to megaphone it in English, and when we are writing, our pronunciation should be really like very slow, and see that the child understands the word which we are pronouncing, and that is also very important. And this syllable wise, pronouncing the word syllable wise, like crying, like not one thing I want to say that like CRYING. So going that like breaking the word into spelling, letter based spelling and all that, it's not going to work with the children. Sometimes we are tempted as teachers, we always get tempted to say that we want to break the word into letters and say CAT, cat.
This has been talking for the years together. Now I hope teachers would understand it. We never touch letter wise pronunciation, and go with this in syllabically. Please divide this word into syllabus. Syllabically, and pronounce it and megaphone it. And one thing I suggest while writing also, the writing that on the board and what we pronounce, both should go hand in hand.
The coordination should be this. Definitely.
That's good. Good suggestion.
Sometimes children will come up with a lot of answers together, and we can't write all of them together, right? So we can give some instructions to the children to come, wait, let's write one by one. I think the children will be immediately tuned to the teacher, and they'll definitely follow our instructions. So moving on to the next part. So now that we have tuned the children to the theme of the unit, let's begin the face sheet transaction. And how are we going to do that? With a little bit of supportive material. In the face sheet transaction, let's see the prerequisites and the learning outcomes. So the learning outcome is listening and speaking based on the face sheet. And here the prerequisite is the student must be able to identify the letters of alphabet and read words syllabically. This one is there. And vocabulary related to animals, birds and forest. Here we are saying this first prerequisite, the student must be able to identify the letters of alphabet. This is for our understanding, not for the sake of teaching letters of alphabet in the class. It's only for the teacher's understanding to know what is the prerequisite for this particular activity. So let's see the next one, face sheet interaction. So what can we do with the help of the face sheet interaction over there? Look at the picture. Name the animals and birds you see in the picture. So we have 4 to 5 animals over there and 2 birds in the picture. Writing those animals and birds is not enough. Maybe we can expand this activity, like name some more animals and birds living in a forest. After doing this activity, I think that we will be getting a lot of vocabulary from the students, and when the teacher is eliciting these responses from the students, teacher is speaking in English and the children are getting a lot of listening exposure even. So after having all these words on the board, and what can be the supportive activity we can do in the classroom? Let's see. Support activities for recognizing the letters of English alphabet and reading words as a whole with syllable sense. This is for our understanding. And after having like 50 to 60 words on the blackboard, when we did this activity in the classroom, we got more than 100 words in the classroom after the transaction process. So that's quite a bulk of words, right? And now we are going to tap how to address the low proficient learners who we think that they have a lot of learning gaps. Look at this activity over here. From the words elicited, we are going to write the words begin with the given letter. I took a bag to the classroom where I had chits with letters of alphabet, and any child who is interested can come to the teacher, pick up that chit from the box or the bag, and if he can read it, he can read it, or others also can come and help the child to read that letter, and then the child can do this activity as given here. He can group all the words beginning with the letter G and write in this column, and he can group all the words beginning with P and write this column. Children can choose to expand this activity, like if they want to do with all the letters of alphabet, they can do. If the time permits, we can also allow them to do this activity. Once they start this activity, I think that there wouldn't be any stopping from the point of the child, because the child enjoys, is coming, reading something with from a box, taking a chit from the box, reading it, enjoying it, and then trying to go then find among the list of all the words where this word is. He is trying to connect himself, and the teacher is giving some instructions. That means the listening and speaking part also is going on, because his friends are helping him out, helping the child out. Say, you go to the first line, you can find that word over there. Go to the second line, you can find that word over there. So it's like buzzing with activity. But remember, this is COVID time. See that they maintain safe distance while we are doing this activity in the
good
classroom.
Good suggestion that you have made. Wonderful. Next.
Next one. After addressing this listening and speaking learning outcome, our next one is reading comprehension. Let's see this learning outcome. Read and comprehend a simple text. And what is the prerequisite for that? Vocabulary and expressions related to the theme. Sometimes we confuse ourselves that vocabulary enough, but here vocabulary and expressions related to the theme, those things should be kept in mind. Not only vocabulary and the expressions, all of them. It's not like only a single word expressions. Like sometimes during the face sheet transaction, we can take certain expressions which might occur in the reading text, and those the teacher know already. So what can the teacher do? So she can bring them up during the face sheet transaction and put them on the blackboard and make the child read graphically. What do you say, sir, about graphic reading?
That's true. This is an activity that makes the children to have a graphic connection.
Yeah.
That's a good suggestion that you have made.
Yes, sir. And one more thing, look at the slides. Look at the slide over there. There should be the children should be able to form meaningful sentences. I'm not talking about grammatically correct sentences. For example, instead of saying this is an ant, the child may say this ant. So it's meaningful for the child, right, sir? It's also meaningful. So editing and grammar correction all can be done later on, but initially when the child is trying to do something, come up with some meaningful activity, will allow the child to come up with the sentences. And one thing I want to certainly mention, sir, that about code switching, because we are talking about class 6 children who came directly from the primary school to our class 6. I think here is the need where we can use the code switching. Can I continue my class with a bit of code switching here also? Okay. So code switching is a very beautiful thing in the classroom when we are talking about low proficient learners. మరి ఆ లెర్నర్స్ కి ఇంగ్లీష్ రాదు అని మనం అనుకున్నప్పుడు టోటల్ గా తెలుగులో చెప్పలేము, టోటల్ గా ఇంగ్లీష్ లో చెప్పలేము. సో వీ కెన్ స్మూత్లీ ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మ్. దట్ మీన్స్ లైక్ వెన్ వీఆర్ ట్రాన్సాక్టింగ్ సంథింగ్ ఇన్ ద క్లాస్ రూమ్, it can be both in Telugu and English, Urdu and English, Hindi and English. That means we can use our mother tongue, but we need to take care that we are not translating any sentences while following the process.
So, in a pedagogical aspect, this is a wonderful suggestion that we have been talking about code switching, but the teacher should make use this code switching in such a smoother manner, so that children won't feel that the teacher is not focusing only on the target language, and the taking off is very smoothly. I think the madam has made a wonderful suggestion. Teachers should take a little bit careful using this pedagogical implication. Okay, and can you present something on this? What is any other
code switch
kind of thing? Just can you instantly think over it?
So this is like impromptu activity. I think I'm very popular for using this word impromptu activity. Mangareddy sir has given me this impromptu activity now. Happy, sir? Yeah. It was a thick forest. ఎంత థిక్ అంటే అందులో పెద్ద పెద్ద చెట్లు, చాలా బర్డ్స్ యానిమల్స్ అన్నీ ఉన్నాయి అండ్ all of them were very friendly and they were moving very happily around in the forest. కానీ అంత హ్యాపీనెస్ ఎప్పుడు నిలవలేదు. Do you know what happened? What do you say, sir?
Yeah, that's
Did
good.
I translate any of the sentences over
No,
here?
no, it's not translating, and it isn't switching the code
Switching from
this
one language to the
mother tongue
other
to the
language.
target language.
Yeah.
So wonderful, but it has to be assimilated. The presentation should be, and the gestures and everything should be very, very sensible, so that you can just see the face of children. They'll enjoy it. And they feel that no, it is not the two languages; it's going in a one way. And again, the teachers should have the. I mean, the teacher is a performer, in fact, So I think this is a wonderful idea that she has suggested. I hope and the teachers would understand this. Okay. Anything to say?
Yeah, yes, sir. And after reading and comprehension,
Yeah.
that means we are talking about reading and comprehension. Here I want to bring forward this idea of creating subtext. I think in our modules from class 6 to 10, not only from class 6 to 10, from class 2 to 10, this idea of subtext is there for addressing the low proficient learners. Maybe we didn't use it much, so I thought that this is the time we need to use it.
Yeah.
And how to do it in the classroom. Let's look at an example over there, sir, for creating subtext. This is the second unit, Telangana, the pride of the people, how to create subtext. So after the face sheet interaction about Charminar, Kakatiya Kalatooranam and Banjara dance over here, we can ask some questions like, what are the things and ideas that come into your mind related to our state? And there are a lot of pictures in the text like Batukamma and Bonalu, and there are other pictures also in the textbook like Pirla Panduga, Narayan toys picture, and many pictures are there in the textbooks, and the teacher can use all these pictures and come up with a subtext using some questions. So let us see the subtext from first para to seventh para. Almost all the paras are like one line paras over here, so that's why I have chosen first para to seventh para, and the subtext over here is the red letter day, Telangana formation, 29th state, our culture, our language. Okay, though it seems to be the big text over in the classroom or in the textbook, when we transact that as a whole in the classroom, as a whole class interaction in the classroom, the child will be able to at least read these words and phrases or expressions graphically, and he can connect his feelings, emotions and the theme according to this subtext provided by the teacher. And if we think that the classroom has more number of low proficient learners, we can take it up as a whole class activity.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the teacher can limit it to few students, go there and do it as an individual activity. Yeah.
Good. Anyway, we need to go with this whole class first, and then chance to this individual.
Yeah, yes, sir. And the last one about creative expression, and prepare a short profile of oneself and then PT Usha, and the prerequisite is the idea of what a profile is. For this, let me directly go into the activity. Here, before going to PT Usha's profile, the child can prepare his own profile over here, and this would help the low proficient child to connect, and then he can try to attempt writing a profile of PT Usha. Sir?
So with this, thank you very much, and
Thank
I
you
think
very much,
teachers
sir.
must have understood. She is a practicing teacher. She has come with very good ideas. Maybe it is not at the cost of the pedagogy, and she has suggested some activities that go ahead in the classroom situation. So as the time goes, we need to switch over to this Vimala Devi, and who is also one of the good practicing teacher over here from the Rangareddy district. I think she is going to talk something about class 7, the activities what she has come here, and you need to understand the framework very clearly and try to go ahead. And I hope I request Vimala to continue this and your ideas for this supporting activities. To deal with this class 7 especially.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Hello teachers, I hope you are all enjoying today's orientation program. Yeah, our teacher Ramani has talked so much about how we can fill up the gap that the child is at present facing. In order to fill up the learning gaps, we are here with a module for you, so that it will help you to transact our lessons. And when we come to class 7, children are not different from class 6 because they too are coming directly from class 5th to 7th. They have skipped class 6 and they are in the high school now. And our main target is to attract the child towards our classroom and at the same time help him to enjoy the learning process. The child will remain with us in the school as long as he enjoys it. So, our lessons, all the lessons are based on certain themes. So, we have to connect the theme to the child's experiential orbit. When the theme is taken into the child's experiences, it involves the child in better learning and learning concepts of maths, social sciences is different from learning a language. I don't think any mother teaches the child ka, ki dirghamiste ka, ki gudiste ki. The child listens to the word kaki and then later on responds to it. The same method or the treatment has to be followed by the second language teacher. We have to give enough input for listening. When the child concentrates, actively participates in the listening activity, then he begins later on to respond to it, and writing or reading comes later. But what we do in the classroom is, for our evidence's sake, we start straight away with writing and reading. There we fail. So, for our classroom, 7th class, let us just look into the slide. Yeah, these things are already addressed in class 6. I have taken a short narrative using code switching. This is the face sheet. The first slide, please. Yeah, for class 6, the Ramani teacher has taken rhyme, and for class 7, I have selected narrative for each lesson, each unit, so that the face sheet takes the child or relates the child to the main unit. But the narrative what we are selecting here is going to motivate the child to get into the theme of the unit. And the just slide please. Okay. Yeah. The first lesson here is the town mouse and the country mouse. Listen and respond to the narrative, then listening and speaking based on the face sheet. So, the narrative should be selected in such a way that it leads to the face sheet and then further to the main reading passage. So, here the student will be able to identify the vocabulary and expressions related to the towns and villages. Here goes the narrative. Nani came back from school. He was very tired. He took bath and lay down to rest for a while. Slowly, Nani dozed off into sleep. In his dream, he saw a peaceful and quiet village. Green fields, brown hills, blooming flowers, swaying grass, chirping birds. Nani, Nani, called his mother. This isn't the time to sleep. Get up, Nani. Rubbing his eyes, Nani got up and wondered how beautiful the village is in his dream. We can use the method of code switching what Ramani spoke to us earlier. Wherever it is possible, like Nani came home after school. స్నానం చేసి చాలా టయర్డ్గా అనిపించినందుకు he wanted to lay down for some time. Then slowly స్లీప్లోకి డోజ్ అయిపోయాడు. in that way, if we go without the child's knowledge that he is listening to English or Telugu, it should be in that way that it has to, we can carry this.
Okay, carry on, please.
Okay. So this way we have to, connect the child from the narrative or the poem or the rhyme that we are going to select for the class. So teachers are very innovative, and this is a challenge for us to how to lead the child into the mainstream, and also at the same time make him enjoy the learning experiences. And here I want to again say that language learning is not like learning any concept, it is acquiring. So we have to be very careful in making the child acquire language, and no force can make the child come out with his language. And just let us look at some more slides here. Yeah, this is the lesson. From the face sheet we can extract as much as vocabulary and expressions. Looking at the picture, we can ask the children to read and comprehend a simple text and vocabulary and expressions related to the theme, and they should be able to form meaningful sentences. So all the related expressions that are there in the main reading passage has to be elicited through asking them different types of questions and put it on the blackboard, so that it helps the low proficient child also to feel that the words or the vocabulary or the sentences that he sees in the reading passages are quite familiar to him, because he has already listened to it, and then we will be able to recognize it in the reading passage, and it helps the child to go through the reading process. And next we can take different activities. Let us look at this slide. Yeah, looking at the picture, we can ask the children to look at the picture, then they can identify or guess the relationship, and then from the other picture they can write the letter. After looking at the letter, they can see and then identify who wrote the letter to whom, and such type of questions will help the child. And the teacher is free to prepare n number of questions, so that they will be able to elicit the reading passage, the answers from the reading passage. And here is the text, subtext: the town mouse, the country mouse, cousins, letter, ill, cough, doctor advice, countryside. All this is to help our children to read and comprehend. Reading has to go along with comprehension. If the child simply reads and doesn't understand anything, there is no use in reading. And for this particular unit, I have taken description as discourse, and the whole activities or the planning, the action plan for this 7th class is given in the module, and teachers, you can go through it and plan for your class according to your child's level.
Thank you very much, Vimala, and you have put, because it's been connected to the class 6, and we have taken much time for the class 6, because same thing can be applied to the class 7 also, but she has presented something in how to create even the subtext also. Very important thing she has mentioned, how we elicit and generate some sentences and writing on the board. And thank you very much for this, and because for the paucity of time, we need to go to another session, and hope and then teachers have understood this, what is a supporting mechanism that we are going to discuss in this particular sessions. Hope it's not only the one session that we are confining us, and again we have a lot of things to discuss in the next 2 sessions. I think in here you must have understood the first Lata has discussed, and what is the scheme, what is the mechanism that we need to take forward along with our children in the given little time, because this is a very important. It's really a challenge. In fact, from SCRT and the school education department, and we are here to try to advise something, to give something. I hope, and this is a small dose for you. I hope it may not be a boost dose. In fact, a small dose. Again, at the same time, on the field, the teachers should do a lot of things. It is only just a kickstart kind of thing, and hope teachers have understood what we are trying to present to in this morning. my dear friends, let's conclude this session now, and I thank on behalf of you and from me and Lata, Venkatramani and Vimala for taking part in this beautiful session. And thank you very much, and we'll stop here and we'll switch over to the next session, and it's going to be 11 to 12 o'clock. Thank you very much, and have a break.